This is Psalm 10 and 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother shot there from the Chicago camp, coming back to what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. Once again, this is Psalm 10 and 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And this scripture was inspired by a video on the Common Sense Show, and it's entitled, State Universities Admit They Indoctrinate Instead of Educate, which is true. Okay, schools are not designed to create free, as they say, free, independent thinking individuals. Okay, the whole concept of the fool system is to create employees. Okay, and when you truly look up that word employee, all right, it's a slave, a peon. All right, and many teachers have written books about the decline of the educational system here in America, and there's one really good book. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Yeah, here it is. Very popular book. Yeah, by Charlotte Thompson Iserbit. It's called The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, a chronological paper trail. And when you read the brief synopsis, it says, in this book, you will discover how good teachers across America have been forced to use controversial, non-academic methodology in their classrooms, how school choice is being used to further dangerous... let's see what the rest of the synopsis says. It says dangerous reform goals and how homeschooling and private education are especially vulnerable, how workforce training, school to work, is an essential part of an overall plan for a global economy, and how this plan will short circuit your child's future career plans and opportunities, and how the international, national, regional, state, and local agendas for education reform are all interconnected and have been for decades. The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America is a chronological history of the past 100 plus years of education reform. Okay, and this is true because what are they trying to gear everybody towards? A new world order. All right, all this free, independent thinking. All right, all these ways that people can learn how to be productive and form businesses and be the next intellectual minds of the new age. All that stuff is at a abrupt end. All right, the whole goal is to keep people dumbed down and implement this new world order. And if you're not down with the program, then let's say there are highly questionable alternatives, which I'm sure Mr. Dave Hodges is going to get into. So let's go back to the video and let Mr. Hodges speak on a few things.
I have argued for a number of years that state universities are much more interested in indoctrinating their students than they are in educating their students. They become cesspools of liberalism. And I'll give you an example. And I don't really have an axe to grind here, and I don't have a dog in the fight, except for the welfare of my country. But you take Arizona State University, for example. We're going to start there, and I'm going to tell you who's running the school, where that person's from, and then some of their core beliefs, and then some of the things that students say about these institutions. My name is Dave Hodges. You're watching the Common Sense Show. This is the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. I couldn't believe it. It's like someone wrote one press release, and they all signed on to it. Arizona State University. Let me just give you a case in point about what these institutions are like. And I'll just speak from within Arizona. Arizona State University is headed by Michael Crow, good friend of Obama. Obama's been kind enough to do commencement addresses at Arizona State. Do you know what Michael Crow's background is? High-level member of the CIA. A lot of his stuff is clandestine. Little wonder that he was put in charge of ASU. Why? Because ASU was one of the first schools to roll out the climate change initiatives and basically make it mandatory for their students. You either believe this or, it's kind of like George Bush. Either you're with us or you're with the terrorists. Either you're on board with mindless climate change without real proof, real numbers, real data, or maybe you should go to community college. And then, of course, I've been told by students, if you're not on board with the climate change, if you're not on board with the social agendas of, quote, the modern era, your life is made miserable there. And they will drive you out of school. This is what students have told me, repeatedly have told me. And then, of course, I talked about 4 or 5 years ago, the University of Arizona and their social justice warrior programs. Little snitches, listening in on conversations. And, okay, so this is the mantra, the mentality of many of the state universities in this country. Now they came out with one press release like it was written, and it's kind of like they all have one person that speaks for them. And they said, we disagree with the president's ban on illegal aliens coming into the country or coming in under certain work visas and getting certain kinds of jobs. We are cutting out the best and the brightest from getting these jobs. Now, listen, we're dealing in human beings. I don't doubt that some of these people would be very, very bright. But also, too, shouldn't we also look and say, well, we have bright Americans, too. And if our state universities were doing a good job educating, wouldn't we be able to say that, hey, guys, we've really educated Americans really well, state universities. We don't need these foreign workers to come in and take these good jobs. We got young people that can do these jobs really well and better than anywhere else in the world. No, the state universities came out en masse and said, we're cutting out the best and the brightest for these jobs. You see what they've admitted? They've admitted that they're liberal indoctrination cesspools of twisted thinking, mindless, they basically do mindless acts of indoctrination on people. I've had people tell me something. My kid up to state school didn't know the kid when they came back. Their beliefs were nothing like what they left home with. Not knowledge, beliefs. And here these universities are admitting, we're here to indoctrinate. We're not really here to educate. Otherwise, why would they say that cutting out foreign workers for these jobs on these work visas or illegal aliens moving in to assume these same kind of jobs, they're cutting out the best and brightest? The state universities are telling you how.
That's all you really need to hear. Point's been made. All right. And he is right. But another factor to that scheme is that it's cheaper to bring in people that aren't used to making a high wage of living than people here in America. Okay. To them, that's just better business. But nonetheless, to get back on the topic, You heard it from the man himself. He said he has firsthand testimonies of students who are telling them that the school system or the fool system is not teaching anybody. All right. They are purposely dumbing people down. They are purposely gathering people to the mindset of being in this so-called new world order where everything is love, everybody gets along. Okay, it's not about what you know, what's about what you believe, of course, and we're all going to establish and have this mindset under bad Uncle Esau. All right, this is why you have 15, 20, 30-year-old people who are coming out of college dumber than a box of rocks. All right, I guarantee you, if you go around and ask many of these 18 to 25-year-olds, if the president dies and the vice president dies, who's the president after that, they couldn't tell you. I guarantee you go out here and ask some of these people what's a subject and what's a predicate, they couldn't tell you. And you know what's funny? This scamdemic has proven that. It has brought that out. All right, with these children bringing their homework home, parents are just like, I don't know how to do this. Okay? Because they weren't taught anything. And now you have children that are growing up not learning any things. Or should I say, they're not learning anything that's going to help them to be productive. All right? They're learning lies, deceit, and madness. All right? We're going to go to Job, the 15th chapter. I think it's the 35th verse. And it says, they conceive mischief. And how does bad Uncle Esau conceive mischief? By spreading these lies. All right? Trying to get everybody up under this new world order banner. Not teaching them how to be productive, to educate, to draw things out of them. All right? They make them stagnant water. All right? A vessel that's completely empty. Okay? You go around here in America, these people have no sense of history. Nothing. Everything that these people learn in America, it's not prosperous. It can't be used for anything good other than to just be a mindless, destructive slave. And it says, and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. And as we all know, the people that have suffered the biggest deceit, all right, the people that have been lied to and deceived for the longest time are you Israelites. Okay? Because I guarantee you're not learning about your true heritage in school. You're learning how to be a social justice warrior, as they say, a millennial. You're learning how to be a businessman, a businesswoman. You're learning how to be African and Egyptian. You're learning how to be Mexican. You're learning that nothing happened after America, or before America, I should say. You were just here, then that's when everything started. No. And see, that was prophesied in the Bible too. It says, what's it in Daniel? It's where it says discontinued. Thou, even thou, shalt be discontinued from thy heritage. Let me put this on pause and find it. Sorry, that it was in Daniel. This is Jeremiah 17:4. It says, "And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever." Okay? And part of the tool that was used to discontinue us from our heritage was this fool system. And what was this dastardly plan that they put into, well, how should I word this? I should say this dastardly plan was purposely done, just as it is still to this day. And it's not only being perpetrated by bad Uncle Esau, but it's being perpetrated by all the nations. All right? None of these nations are teaching that we're the Israelites. All right? As it goes in Psalm 83. And I'm going to get that real quick. And I'm going to go to, I'm going to go to verse 2, 83 and 2. It says, "For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They take crafty counsel against thy people and consult it against thy hidden ones." All right, what's that crafty counsel? Discontinuing us from our heritage by the fool system. It says, "They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation." Come, let us help. Let's discontinue them from their heritage. It says that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent, or as people like to say, a conspiracy. They are a confederate against thee, and it goes down into the nations. All right. So this was the deliberate plan, not only from bad Uncle Esau, but all these other nations, all right, to indoctrinate us to the point that we don't even know who the hell we are. All right, you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you have been served the greatest injustice when it comes to this fool system. And they have to do it because it's not in their favor to do such a thing. What does it say? Bear with me for a few. Hopefully my memory, the Spirit brings it to my memory. But let me pause. I think it's they're not in favor for us. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon 2:12. It says, "Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn." Meaning that the things that he do, it's not beneficial to us. All right, it's not beneficial for us, for you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites according to the Bible. It is not beneficial to bad Uncle Esau and these other nations for you to know who you truly are. And it says, "And he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgression of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of Yahweh." All right? Because everything that we're supposed to do and everything that we're supposed to know to guide us through this life is in the scripture. But what do you have here in America? A separation of church and state. All right? These folks don't want the Bible being taught in school, let alone having it be taught the correct way. All right, us coming into the knowledge of who we are, we didn't learn this in school. They don't want us to learn this. As I said before, it is not beneficial to them. Because as you can clearly see, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, raising up his prophets once again, okay, this knowledge is now spreading forth in the earth. How was it, is it Ezra 6 or Ezra 9, the fruit? I want to say it's in 2nd Ezra, but I'm not sure if it's in 6 or 9. Just bear with me. Thank you. Yeah, 2nd Ezra 6. 2nd Ezra 6, and I'm going to start at 27. It says, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched." All right? The Babylon juice that everybody is under today. All right? The deceit of folks not being so-called free, independent thinkers. All right? The deceitful practices that have kept us from coming to our power. All right. All these things are going to be put out. Deceit shall be quenched. And it says, "As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall overcome. And the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared." And that's what you have today. You have the men of the Lord through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai spreading. They're out on the highways and the byways spreading this truth, spreading righteousness in the earth again. And now it's thrown the whole system out of whack. All right, we've been on the street with people with regular bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, doctor's degrees, so-called theologians, apologetics, you name it. We've talked to everybody, and they've been shut down. And people are so amazed of the knowledge that the Lord has blessed us with, that when they go back home and they reread this stuff and they go over and do their own research, they're just like, damn, these guys were right. What the hell have I been learning for these past 30, 40, 50 years? What the hell did I do spending $250,000 on a piece of paper, and these 20, 30-year-old guys who don't have a so-called high school or college education or any of these accolades that, you know, are prized possession in this society, man, these guys just made me look like a damn first grader. That's the beautiful thing that the Lord has done. All right. He's made sure that this truth is going out, and it's completely crushing the lies and the indoctrination of the fool system here in America. Because now these guys are scrambling. They don't know what to do. Especially now with the interweb, where you can go just look at anything. You don't even have to go to the library and do that much footwork anymore. It's a wrap. You know? So that's all I really wanted to say on this. It went a little longer than what I expected, but nonetheless, I hope you all were edified. Once again, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. With that, we're going to say shalom.